Cyril Ramaphosa has committed himself to serving the country to bring about a better future for all its people. In his acceptance speech after taking the oath at Loftus Versfeld Stadium earlier, Ramaphosa said South Africans wanted action, not just words and promises.
The good weather welcoming Cyril Ramaphosa to the presidency, reflecting the state of the nation he will be taking charge of. Among those attending the ceremony included former presidents, heads of state from SADC, chairpersons of the AU and the AU Commission, international guests, premiers and the Chief Justice.
President-elect, would you please raise up your right hand and say, "So help me God."
So help me God. South Africa's transformation.
Beginning in an audible tone, declaring his sincere consciousness that the task ahead is huge. Calling this day a day of friendship and solidarity, Ramaphosa reaffirmed the common commitment to the continent and that South Africa will work with other countries to realize the AU's Agenda 2063. Turning to the job at hand, Ramaphosa reassured the nation of the trust bestowed upon him and acknowledged the challenges that lie ahead. He lamented the greed by some who enrich themselves at the expense of the nation.
In recent times, our people have watched as some of those in whom they had invested their trust have surrendered to the temptation of power and riches.
Ramaphosa says, despite the country's achievements, much more still needs to be done.
The challenges that our country faces are huge and they are real, but they are not insurmountable. They can be solved, and I extend here to say that they are going to be solved. In the face of these challenges, our people have remained resolute, resilient, and unwavering in their desire for a better South Africa. Through the irrefutable power of the ballot on 8th May, South Africans declared the dawn of a new era. They have chosen hope over hopelessness. They have opted for unity over conflict and divisions.
He says there has to be a better future for the country's younger generation who are the custodians of tomorrow. He said this was a defining moment for South Africans.
Let us declare our shared determination that we shall end poverty in South Africa within a generation. Let us declare that when we gather to celebrate the 50th year of our freedom, there shall no longer be any person in this land who is unable to meet their basic needs. That there should be no child who goes to bed hungry. Every school child will be able to read, and every person who wants to work will have a reasonable opportunity to find employment. As we make this bold declaration, we are aware of the depth of the challenges that we must confront. We are aware of the debilitating legacy of our past, nor the many difficulties of the present. To achieve the South Africa we want will demand, fellow South Africans, an extraordinary feat of human endeavor.
With the country's ailing economy, Ramaphosa called on labor, business and citizens to forge a compact that will move the country forward.
Let us also forge a compact of an efficient, capable and ethical state, a state that is free from corruption, for companies that generate social value and propel human development, and for elected officials and public servants who faithfully serve no other cause than the cause of our people.
And with the sitting of Parliament due, Ramaphosa reminded those who will be going to Parliament that they have been chosen to deliver, adding that the nation has placed its confidence on them.
You have chosen them. You have chosen them to safeguard your rights, to improve your lives, and to build our country, a country that should be united, strong and truly free.
He added that the notion that Africa is always a cap in hand seeking assistance from Europe must be ended.
We must use this innovative talent that originated in Africa to embrace and use the fourth industrial revolution to develop Africa, to create jobs for the youth and empower the women of our continent.
A signal that a brighter day is rising upon South Africa and upon the continent. Lehana Tsotetsi, SABC News.
All right, we had reporters fanned out across that stadium. Let's speak to one of them now. We're joined by the SABC's Sipho Stuurman. Sipho, give us a sense of what it was like to be among those crowds.
Well, a very good evening to you and our viewers at home. Well, indeed, the crowds were excited. I started with them very early at Tshwane Showgrounds, where they got into bus shuttles going to the statement, and it was a mood of excitement. People, of course, with very high expectations of the president, but there was a sense that there is change in the air and that this is a moment that everyone in the country must recognize and appreciate. Of course, we've come through difficult times with the economy, petrol rises, unemployment being high. So certainly, South Africans are feeling that there's a moment of hope coming with President Cyril Ramaphosa, and the mood reflected that at the stadium, Francis.
How hard did people have to work to get into that stadium? It was very early. They had to get accredited and seated very early because of the security arrangements.
Well, indeed. Actually, I spoke earlier to one of the other people that were there. They told me that they woke up as early as 4 a.m., some of them, to ensure that they arrive on time. But I must say, the process in terms of the bus shuttles seemed to have run very smoothly. People were able to park their cars and they were safely there at Tshwane Showgrounds, and then they were able to get onto the buses to the stadium. Of course, they moved it from the traditional Union buildings to Loftus Stadium just for that, to allow more people space to be part of this inauguration. And certainly it seemed as if those that were there did indeed get the space, and they did get to witness. And also they got to witness the South African Defence Air Show, which was quite a highlight, because every time the pilots were flying over there, you would hear the crowd cheering. So certainly people got their time's worth by attending the inauguration.
So that's what I wanted to ask you. What did the change, moving from the Union buildings to Loftus, mean? I guess more people being able to witness.
Indeed, it does give people more. It does give space to more people to be able to witness. People are seated, so there's and obviously the stadium gives that collective mood. There's lots of singing there. Even former Speaker of Parliament, Obaleka Mbete, who was the MC there, program director, often had to calm the people down so that the program can move ahead. But of course, people were in a jovial mood. But I must emphasize this, Francis, very quickly. As much as people were in a jovial mood, the expectations high. Some of the key matters that people highlighted was the issue of jobs, improved service delivery, and thirdly, the issue of they want to see a real fight against corruption. So those are some of the expectations, and people are hoping that the president will tackle those matters as soon as he announces his cabinet.
All right, thank you very much. And that's the next big step, the announcement of those ministers and deputy ministers by the president. Thank you, Sipho Stuurman from the SABC. Well, President Ramaphosa was ushered into the presidency by thousands who attended that ceremony today at the stadium in Pretoria. The capital city was brought to a standstill as many came from various provinces to be part of the events.